let's just talk about Canada's free trade agreement with Ukraine and why the Conservative government are against the amendment. This is the amendment. We do have a free trade agreement with Ukraine. It's there. We've got it. It's there. No one's arguing that. But there isn't an amendment to it that's going to charge the Ukraine carbon tax. Who's going to get the carbon tax? Who's going to get the rebate? Nobody's going to get the rebate. But for sure, the Liberal government are going to rake in carbon tax from what was a pretty straightforward free trade agreement. Let's have a listen to Poilievre and what he's saying on this.
We brought in the Ukraine free trade.
The new one, the new version.
There is no new one. What there is
it was just passed in the House of Commons yesterday.
If I could, what there is a carbon tax amendment. You know what happened if this deal didn't pass? Nothing, because we already have a free trade agreement. What we have now is a carbon tax amendment to a pre-existing deal.
So what would you do if you become Prime Minister?
We're not going to honor a carbon tax amendment.
But your supporters already don't like the carbon tax. Why don't they support Ukraine?
They don't,
because
they don't support the carbon tax.
So you think that all of their support, their declining support for Ukraine is linked solely to the carbon tax in this free trade deal?
The carbon tax was inserted by Justin Trudeau, not by my supporters. Why did he do that? No, but I'm just curious. Can you explain to me why there is a carbon tax in the agreement?
No, but the question is why.
No, I asked you a question. You keep asking what the agreement is.
We're the journalists. We ask the question.
I have the freedom to ask questions if I want to, and I've just answered. I've been answering your questions all week.
Here's another one.
So no,
the government's introducing
why would they
an
do a
investment
carbon
tax
tax?
credit.
You're not changing the subject. I know you want to change the subject.
I want to ask
because you don't want to talk about Trudeau's carbon tax.
I want to ask a question because in a democracy we ask the question and you answer.
And I decide the answer I give. And the answer is this: we will axe the tax. And Trudeau can try to divide Canadians by putting a carbon tax in a free trade agreement that we already had for years. It won't change a thing.
It's misleading.
Because I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax with delight and with passion and with incredible speed. So when I'm Prime Minister, you will be shocked at the speed with which I will axe the tax. And the Canadian people will be able to look up at the gas stations and see the prices coming down. And Trudeau can try to distract from his hated carbon tax by putting it in a free trade amendment to a pre-existing agreement. It won't stop me because I will axe the tax, I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax. Thank you.
You see what I mean? It's like, it's a free trade agreement. Cash in on somebody else's war. Stop doing that. I would vote against it. I would vote against the carbon tax tomorrow, exactly like Poilievre is doing. Poilievre doesn't want the carbon tax. We don't want the carbon tax. The only person who wants it is Trudeau, and he believes that sending or creating a carbon tax in other countries, that they have to then send the money back to Canada, most likely, because they're the ones providing the fuel. Yeah, it's a ridiculous thing to be doing. You shouldn't be doing it. And I'm really happy that he's not going to sign that amendment to the free trade agreement. Just keep the agreement as it is. It doesn't need amending. It doesn't need it. Till next time.